Good. So here you can see these three people are joining these particular wheels. You can understand, you can see there are different type of wheels. Some are very small, some are big, and they all are coordinated, connected with each other. And when one particular wheel will move, automatically other will also start to move. So these people are making the maintenance, keeping the maintenance, and as well as making the coordination in these particular wheels. So this is exactly the role of HR department in every industry, not only in the pharma, but every other sectors like automobile or IT sector or anywhere, wherever you go, HR is doing same this type of role. So most of the people think that HR is only doing recruitment or something like that, or they are just giving the confirmation letter or joining letter. That is their role. No, it's a very wide role. It's a very different activity as compared to our regular activity that we perform in that particular company. But this is the very crucial activity. If a particular wheel will be changed with some different wheel which is having the different shape and as well as the different weight and everything, automatically whole this circuit will get disturbed. Automatically whole this activity will get disturbed, it will stop. And that is the big problem for this particular activity when such type of imbalance will be there. And HR is always maintaining the balance in this particular function. So this HR department is a very crucial department in every organization, and for that purpose, they are getting higher salary than the regular employee wherever they are. So if you think that HR is like those who don't have any other opportunity, they will go for HR. It is not like that. It is a very crucial role. It is a very smart role that they have to perform in every activity of the company, and they have to be responsible for ultimately the whole functioning of that particular organization. So if HR is there, everything will be, if good HR is there, then everything will be good. Otherwise it will be a imbalance. It is a difficult to run that particular organization. Automatically they will be outside of that particular competition in that particular sector. So HR is very important part in every company. These first few slides that I have given, I am just defining what is exactly is HR as per overall definitions that we have in different sector. HR is like a set of people who make the workforce of an organization, business sector or industry or economy. So these people are not doing any other activity in that particular organization. Like for example, pharma, if they have the manufacturing or research or marketing sectors, the different departments are doing their activity, but HR people are only managing the workforce of that organization and business sector of that particular industry, and as well as the economy of that particular organization. So they are maintaining both. They are maintaining the human resource as well as the financial budget of that particular company. So as per the budget, how many employee they have to choose, how which type of training they have to given to that particular employee, and as well as how to evaluate their performance. That is the main responsibility of the HR. So if you want to understand the HR role, you have to understand your mother role in your family. If you understand your mother role, then you automatically you understand the HR role in every company. So you can see most of the HR department there is a female. If you go in multinational companies, wherever you go, or even in a small company also, HR department always having the majority person is a female, because female can understand how to they are having very good management skill, and they can properly manage everything as per that particular organization structure. So HR is a very active department in every organization, and if you see the duty as a point of view, their responsibility, they are doing the planning as per the current situation of that particular organization, as well as future point of view. If they have any particular project or any project is coming to that particular organization, and as per that project they require some specific skill person for that particular activity. So as for that purpose, they start the planning at least 6 months before that particular interview. If you think that there is a advertisement for that particular interview, that advertisement and that every planning of that particular interview advertisement, everything is done 6 months before of that particular date of that particular interview or walk-in. So planning, posting the job at proper way. It means nowadays, because everyone is active on the social media, so LinkedIn is now a regular platform for such type of advertisement for the new hiring, interview, walk-in, everything is there. As well as they are giving the advertisements within the organization. In some newspaper also they are giving the advertisements. So it is depend on where they are giving the advertisement. So for that purpose also, HR is always be very crucial for that particular thing, where we have to give the proper advertisement, so that exactly proper person will get the information that where is the opening at present. So as per that, they will apply for that particular interview, or they can come for the walk-in. Then selection process and recruitment. As we know, selection process, there are so many rounds, so many different type of tests, so many different type of what we say judgment process to check the qualification, performance of that particular employee or participant in that particular walk-in or interview. So this process is done by both HR as well as the particular what we say the department person of that particular interview, particular requirement department. So wherever there is a requirement, the person who is part of that particular department, they are also involved in the selection process. After that, evaluating the performance of the employee. So once interview is done, it is not like that everything will be finalized at that particular day or at that particular time only. It will take much more time. Sometime it will take 1 month, 2 month. It depends how much time they have as for that particular position. So after that, organization keeping the proper documentation of this particular process, their CVs, their qualifications, then other background verification process is there. So everything will be managed by HR. So it is a vast responsibility, and ultimately they are the responsible for the human resource in that particular organization. So they have to be very careful to choose the correct person for that position as per the role and responsibility. So I'm not going in a detailed way, but here we can. So after the selection, the first thing is that is a package, that how much package they are offering to you, and as per as payroll, as per the payroll, how many monthly salary, everything will be discussed in detail with that particular employee. So again, that is the responsibility of the HR. Once they finalize everything, then they will go for the next level. Then coordination of the employee relation activities. And many times employee also having some particular problems during the joining, after the joining, and some other problems are like internal discrimination, or maybe other harassment type of issues are there. So everything will be managed by HR. So HR is always there for the employee also, and mostly for the organization. So they are supporting the organization, but as well as they are giving proper platform to that particular employee when they are joining this particular organization as a employee. So as a role point of view, you can understand they have so many vast activities, like first determining the needs of the staff, which type of staff they want, number of employee, at the same time gender wise, qualification wise, experience wise, what is their requirement. Again, it is a temporary or permanent. Again, do's and don'ts for that particular department. So nowadays, because there are so many competitors, so many other what to say online activities are going on. So nowadays hackers are also there, which can hack your companies or a website or any particular online server also. So for that purpose also, they have to make some do's and don'ts for that particular organization, so that safety of that particular data or particular what to say information is very important, and that is ultimately responsibility of the HR. So for that purpose, they have a specific policies for the safety point of view, for the management point of view, for the functioning point of view. So again, training of the employee, that is again second important part after the selection. If you when they select the employee, again it is a responsibility of HR to give the proper training to that particular employee, because everything is depend on the training. If training is good, ultimately that person will perform exactly as per the requirement and give his best quality for that particular role. So if training is not proper, again there is a failure in the quality, again there is a problems in a future point of view. So for that purpose, again HR is responsible for that particular thing. Employee will be escalated, but at the same time HR will be more escalated because of they have not given proper training to that particular employee. Supervise the work, evaluate the work, establish the discipline, because nowadays every department there are so many people. Now if you go to multinational organizations, there are 100 200 people are sitting at a time in that particular working hours, and there are so many other activities are there. So make a proper discipline for that particular organization. Again, it is a responsibility of the HR. So for that purpose, they make the proper guidelines for that particular workstation, that timing, again appearance, clothes, which type of clothes they have to wear. Again, if there is any politics or anything discrimination is there, so they have to be properly judge that particular problem, give proper counseling to the prop person, and if it is out of control, they have to remove that particular person from that particular organization. Again, removing process is also different. For that purpose, they have to go through different type of policies as per the government instruction. So everything is properly frame as per this particular organization point of view or functional point of view. So here HR not just making their own policy, but at the same time they are following the government policy also. So before starting that particular organization in that particular country, there are government policies are defined for that particular workstation. So employee point of view, organization point of view, economic point of view, they have some different policies. So it is a responsibility of HR to follow that policies and make a compliance in with that particular policy, because ultimately if there is a compliance, then only that organization will perform as per the requirement. If there is a non compliance, again they have to face different problems from the government, from the competitors, from internal also. So that for that purpose, again HR role is important to make the balance in these different circumstances. So these are again extra other what we say functional activities that HR will do. Nowadays HR softwares are there. So instead of doing paperwork, now everything is on software. So everything will be monitored through this particular software. They make the records, they make the documents in that particular software, keep the soft copy, then manage the relationship with the employee. If they have any union, like no, big organizations having some unions also. So for that purpose, again they have to make a proper collaboration with that union. Then again records of that particular person and policies as well as per the government rule and regulations. Apart from that, motivational motivate the employee, that is also important part nowadays, because we can see there are different type of psychological and mental challenges within organization and outside the organization also. So many time because of this particular what to say psychological issues, maybe that person is having some personal issue or family issue, they will get frustrated, or and after that he gets suicide. So such type of situation happen in organization also. So for that purpose also, again HR is a very important player in this particular problem. So if they think that something is going wrong, that employee is not performing as per the requirement, and he or she may be having some personal or family issue, or many maybe any other issue, so give the proper counseling to that particular person, understand their point of view, understanding their exact problem, and as per the company rules and regulation, they will help to resolve that particular problem. So here also HR role is also very important. So nowadays these are so many challenges in organization also as per the condition and time. So HR is always there for this particular activity. Now, as we are working, as we are focusing on the clinical research industry, so nowadays you can see what is clinical research industry is not like every time there is a multinational company. It is from local to global. If you see CR industry, local level, they have so many local laboratories. If anyone want to join that particular laboratory, again for that purpose there is a different requirement. As per that, HR is also having the different type of role and functions in that particular local industry. Hospital clinical sites, that is a very common in clinical industry. So if there is any hospital and they are having the clinical research department, like a clinical trial section in that particular hospital, and particular doctor is working as a PI. So again for that purpose also they will done some selection for the CRC, lab technician, or whatever the roles they have in that particular hospital. Again, local level nowadays, site management organizations are there, that is known as SMOs. So now in India also we can see in Central India, North India, South India, so many SMOs are working, and they are taking the projects from the CROs. And as on behalf of CRO, they are helping the particular client to complete that particular trials in that particular region. So again, they also have the HR department, their policies, their function, everything is there. But as per the range of that particular organization, their activity will be also having the limited access. It is not like that every HR department working same way. It depends on that particular organization as per their location, their service, their activity. Everything depend on that things. So you can see different HR organizations and their HR are having different activities. So again, government and private offices are there nowadays, because government is also involved in this clinical research. So they have so many regulatory departments in every region, every sub-region also, and logistic support, because HR, this clinical research required always different type of logistic support for the manufacturing point of view, for the supply point of view, for the instrument point of view, or any document transfer point of view. So these are the main industry players in this particular or industry, a clinical research industry. So you have to understand that you have opportunity in this different section. So if anyone want to join hospital, they can join the hospital and they can make their career also in that particular hospital. As well as SMOs are there, and ultimately this CROs are there, but they are the multinational players, so they have different vast amount of staff. And always remember, when you are appearing for any walk-in for the CRO, always remember you are applying for the multinational company. So your understanding, your performance must be as a national level performance. It is very important. So when you are appearing for the interview, you have to be prepared physically and mentally for that particular activity. So it is a selection on a national level. It is not like a regional level or a state level. They are doing the selection. When they are going opening the walk-in, it is means it is for India. So for anyone from all over the India can apply for that particular walk-in, or they can join that particular walk-in on that particular date and time in that particular CRO MNC company. And when they are coming to that thing, they all are considered as a national level employee for that particular organization. So those who are going for that particular walk-in, always remember you have to perform in a higher level as compared to the local level. So there is a competition also, and as well as there is a performance level evaluation also. So the person who is judging you, he is judging you as a national level point of view, not a regional level or local level point of view, because that activity, that role and responsibility is a big as compared to the local organizations. So that is also important when you are applying for the interview, and when you are going for the interview, you have to prepare physically and mentally in this way for that particular thing. So these are the some companies that we know currently in India. Also, they have very good setup. And this is actually 2018 chart, but actually here number is all goes on changing. Sometime IQVIA go one number one, sometime PPD go to number two. It depends on their overall business and overall their revenue, what they got in yearly level. But these are the main players of this particular industry. Main player means it is a main what we say active participant in this particular industry. So they have very vast business, as well as their setup is also very vast. Every country they have thousands of employee, depend on that particular country's requirement, and overall that clinical research resources available in that particular country. So but these are the main players in this way. And if you see location wise, for clinical research location wise, centers in India is a for main center is a Mumbai, Pune, then Hyderabad, Bangalore, and nowadays Delhi also growing very fastly in clinical research. So we have very limited locations in an Indian point of view, but nowadays step by step regional level also having very good setup. So now you can see Kolkata is also appearing in this particular map of clinical research, and as well as in south level, I think Chennai and this one Goa. they are also performing good for this. So upcoming days, maybe you have the opportunity in these particular cities also. So be prepared for that, and always think, don't think that always you have to go to Mumbai or Pune, because this is a big city. No, go to any very whenever wherever you want, but be ready for that particular location, and as well as the condition, local environment also. Here I want to give one example. Now IQVIA has started their new office in Cochin. So Kochi, IQVIA is just started last year, and some of the people get selected for that particular location. But because Cochin is in Kerala, it is a coastal city, and because the regional level language problem is there, so many employee have rejected that particular location because of that particular thing. So please avoid this type of thing. Wherever you got the opportunity, be ready and be go there. Don't wait, and don't think negatively that because of this it is not good or not good. Here location is not important, your career is important. So once you got the entry, get it and start your journey. Step by step you can go to different location as per your qualification and experience, but always give first preference to your career than the location. Even when I was working in the Cognizant, that time I was actually it is in Mumbai, New Mumbai, and they have started their office in Kolkata. And most of the people who are from East India, like West Bengal, Odisha, or Bihar and Jharkhand, that type of states are there. They are not ready to go to Kolkata because they think that in Kolkata, these very few companies are there, and in Mumbai or in Pune, there are so many opportunities or different options are there. So they are not ready to move to that particular location, though the company has started their setup in that particular cities. So, and because of that, they avoid the promotion also. They says that though I am getting the promotion in this particular location, but I don't have any other option, so I don't want to go to Kolkata. So I think it is not good for them, such type of employee also. So always think to give priority to your career first, and after that give to think on that particular location. So now, because now we are focusing on the CROs, so first of all we have to understand what is exactly mean by the CRO. So CRO, as we know the definition, it is a contract research organization, and it is service organization that provide the support to the pharmaceutical and biotechnological industries in the form of outsource the pharmaceutical research service as well as for the medical device also. So CRO is not a main player. Actually, client is a person who is giving this particular responsibility or particular business to that particular organization. So they are whole and sole responsible to take this particular responsibility from the client. So when they are taking the responsibility, they are always conscious for their quality, because they are not a owner. They are taking the service from the other, they are taking the business from the other. So for that purpose, when you are appearing for the interview, their expectation is much higher than the other thing, because they want a good player for that particular organization. So they are expecting that everyone must be understanding clinical research, ICH-GCP, their importance, their sensitivity in this particular activity, and they will perform as per their requirement. So nowadays I am here official, I am saying this is an unofficial rule in every organization. The person who has done any particular diploma in clinical research, I am again repeating, a person, men and women, who has done a particular diploma in clinical research, that will give the first priority during the selection, though that person has done the PhD in any particular subject. They don't consider your academic background as a important for that particular role and responsibility. It is a unofficial rule in every interview in every big company, MNC. I am saying this because I am also part of the selection process in many interviews. So from the HR, many times they have given us some particular uh, indications or particular instruction before taking the interview, that sir or madam, please consider these people because these people has done the diploma in clinical research from falana institute. So if you have a diploma, then your CV will be in a different category than the person who is having only academic background like a BSc, MSc or PhD, whatever that is there, pharma, B Pharm, M Pharm, whatever it is. So nowadays, diploma is indirectly or directly important for the person who is appearing for the interview. If you have a proper diploma, means this person has gone through particular specialized course for that particular industry point of view, and now he can understand, or she can understand this particular role and responsibility better than the person who is from the academic background. So here I am again repeating that before joining any interview, always must have a proper diploma certificate in your hand. And this way I'm especially giving thanks to Vijaya, because Canvas is doing very important role for this particular career point of view to this new joining. So because here I know that overall courses and their whatever the subject they are taking, that is very good for that particular course, but their support is also very good for that particular new joining. So if you are taking the particular certificate from such type of diploma institute, your CV will get more weightage during the selection time. So it is an unofficial rule. No one will say that this is an official rule. It is a unofficial rule. But nowadays, diploma is a directly or indirectly mandatory, and on that basis they will judge your performance. So if you want to get select in particular company, always must have a proper certificate diploma from particular institute before appearing for the interview. So as per your interest, you can join different department in any CRO. Now there are so many departments in that particular CROs. So clinical operation department is there, CDM is there, medical writing department, pharmacovigilance, regulatory affairs, SAS department, IT support department, document management department, logistics support department, biostatistical department, falana falana, so many department, at least 10 to 15 active department in every CRO. Everywhere, wherever there is a CRO, there is a 15 department minimum for that particular activity, and it depends on the project how much employee they are taking. It depends on that particular project. So it is always there that for MNC there is always big requirement when they are going for the walk-in. Then they are selecting at least 100 to 200 people at a time for every walk-in, and this walk-in is regular in every. If you see this particular MNC like TCS, Cognizant, or IQVIA, or like this Covens are there. So many multinational companies are there. Their setup in every country is having in thousands. So they're walk-in every yearly, half yearly. They are taking the walk-in, and they are selecting minimum 200 to 500 new employee for different department as per the requirement. Now I want to show this picture to you. So this is very important when you are appearing for the interview. When I search on the net, I find this picture is very good to understand exactly the interview situation. So you can see these are the two players who are playing the chess, and this particular chess there is particular move. In that particular move, this player has moved a particular what we say this particular player from that particular board to that particular location. So here that situation, that particular player of that particular board is all, and their that appearance in that particular location is very very crucial. If he is moving some different player like a horse or like a this elephant, it is not good, because it is not a proper way to that particular position. So whenever there is a selection of that particular employee in that particular interview, after that particular interview, it is not like that that person is having something this because of that he got selected. No, it is that is only a 5%. 95% it depend on the situation, which is exactly the situation during that particular project point of view in that particular organization. So if a B Farm person who is having not having much more experience, but he got selected, but any M Farm person who is having very good experience, he not get selected, is not like that that M Farm is not capable to handle that particular role. But that B Farm person and his qualification is exactly matching this particular situation. That's why that person got selected in that particular organization after that interview. So don't think in your way that this is because of this he got selected, or maybe there is a most of the time it is a feeling after they got not selected for that particular organization that वो तो शायद उनका जैक रहेगा या कोई ये रहेगा. नो, इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. जैक से आप एंट्री कर सकते हो लेकिन परफॉर्मेंस नहीं कर सकते हो. परफॉर्मेंस के लिए आप टैलेंट ही चाहिए. टैलेंट रहेगा तो ही वो आगे जाएगा, नहीं तो वो आगे नहीं जाएगा. So it depend on this particular situation. That's why I put this particular picture in this particular PPT so that you can understand for the interview point of view there are different type of situations. So as per that situation, HR will inform that particular selector that you have to choose such type of person for that particular position, because that person is exactly matching our requirement in that particular situation. So now we going coming to our main policy point. So HR policy, there are different policies in every organization. Internal organization policies are there. When they are managing their organization, they have some internal policies for the budget point of view, for the activity point of view. Then external business level policies are there when they are taking the business from the client or any other person. Uh, they have some particular policies for that particular business point, as well as the competitors are there. So to avoid the competition and to get that particular business, they make the proper policy for the business. Then management level policies are there. So in every organization there are the hierarchies: higher level management, middle level management, low and the ground level person who are doing this particular activity. So to manage this particular function, they have particular management policy. Functional level policies, as we know that different department are doing different activity. So as per that function, as per that particular department, whatever the policies that is required, that will be defined and finalized by the HR department. So for the pharmacovigilance department, they have a different policies. Clinical data management, they have the different policies. So it depends on that particular department, and as per that they make the policy. And ultimately that is the main thing, is the employee level policy. So that is the main our today's interest point, interest subject. So we have to go deeply in this particular thing. So what exactly the employee level policy of the HR? So as we know that they are doing the planning for the new recruitment. When they says that now in we got the project from they got the message from the business developers that now we got the project from falana client, and for that particular activity we required 500 new employee for this particular activity for the pharmacovigilance department or CDM department, whatever it is. So make a planning for the selection of the 500 new employee for this particular thing. So once they got the green signal from the business developer that yes, we require this in this particular department, they posting the job ads. After that they organizing the resumes. So most of the time they are checking resumes, whatever the resumes they already the employee has registered in that particular website. So many times when they are going for the instead of going for the advertisement, they will check the CVs whichever register on that particular website, or generally they will ask LinkedIn people that please provide some CVs which is exactly matching with our requirement. So it depends. If they got proper 500 employee through these particular portals, they will not go for the other advertisements. But if they don't get proper number exactly as per their requirement, then they will go for the extra advertisements like a newspaper or internet advertisements, or through mouth publicity also. They will inform their regular employee that now we want to have some opening, so please inform to your friends or relatives whoever interested to join this particular position. So such a way they are doing the advertisements. Then scheduling the interview, if as per the position, if they require some experienced people, so they will exactly calling that particular person directly telephonically to this particular position. Are you interested? If you are interested, come for that particular interview. For that purpose, whatever the travel expense is there, they will be bear by the company, because they want experienced people for that particular position. So for that purpose only they will give the travel expense. Rest for walk-in and other interview, they will not give any travel expense. Then selection process, as we know that different type of level interviews are there. General discussion, then group level discussion, then face to face discussion, then written test, then after that some situation type of tests are there. It depends how many employee are appearing for that particular walk-in. So nowadays, as we know that every year we have some thousands of B.Pharm, M.Pharm or MSc, BSc people are there. So most of the time when they are giving the walk-in call or walk-in advertisement, if their requirement is 100 people, at least 2000 to 2 to 3000 people are there for the walk-in. It is always common in every MNCs. So competition is there, but at the same time, those who are really having good qualities and background or qualification, they will got selected, sure, because it depends on their performance and their overall skill for that particular position. So though 1000 people are appearing, it is not like that everyone will get selected, but luck is there. 1% luck is always there. So ensuring again after selection, they will check the background check. Background check will be there. After that, proper training to that role and requirements, evaluating the performance. Once they got selected, and they will they check their confirm their background. After that, at least 6 months to 1 year, there is a training period. It is training period to judge the performance of that particular employee. If that performance is good, then only they will give the confirmation letter. Otherwise they will not give the confirmation. After 1 year, they say that okay, your performance is not matching in our requirement, better you have to change from this department to different department. They are not removing that particular employee, but they will check what exactly his capabilities. If his capability is not matching with this particular department, they will move to different department. And after that, again they will check his performance or her performance, and after that they will give the confirmation letter. This is overall the cycle that I have experienced, because I work in TCS, I work in Cognizant, and now I'm currently working in the IQVIA. So this is my personal experience, the way they are handling this particular selection process. And after that, after selection also, it is not like that during interview a person got selected, that is a final. No, it is not a final. It is take at least 6 months to get final the call from the HR. So don't be in this impression that once you are appearing the walk-in, those person who got selected, they will get everything at a time within 1 2 days. No, it is not in 1 2 days. It will take at least minimum 3 months. 3 months it will take to get a call from the HR again for the joining. Because after walk-in also, they will evaluate different requirements. Suppose they have some requirement of 50 people and they got selected 50 people, but out of 50 people, 20 people rejected this because of the package point of view, because of the location point of view, because of the personal or family reason point of view. Then after again they will evaluate the new next 20 people who are appear during that particular interview. Again they make the call, they will discuss with them. If anyone is not interested, they rejecting, again discussing with the next one. And after that, everything will get finalized. So it, for that purpose, it will take minimum 2 months after the interview to get a call from HR. So always be in the always don't be in a such an impression that everything is very fast and very clear. No, it will take time. It depends on the situation. It depends on the overall other players who are appearing for that particular interview, and how they are accepting or rejecting that particular offer. So now this is for some tips. This is my personal tips to you who want to appear for the interview. That first thing, first you have to understand the employer. Who is your employer? Is it a local company or a regional SMOs or a multinational government or private organization? As per that, you have to prepare. Don't be going in a higher way. Don't go in a below the what is the requirement. Exactly go as per this particular organization point of view. So prepare as per the employer. So if this position is for the fresher, be there as a fresher. If it is for the experienced people, show your experience by your performance, so that they can judge you that yes, this person is having really good experience, he can understanding the responsibility of this particular role. Then they will focus more on you instead of other person who are participating in this particular interview. Then as per that, prepare yourself completely for that particular role and responsibility. Your appearance and body language must be decent and comfortable. Most of the time people think that they have to wear the tie, they have to wear the coat. It is not required. No one will check your clothes, which type of clothes you are wearing. It is a branded or normal local. That is not their interest. Their interest is on your performance, your body language, your confidence level, your knowledge, your skill, and how you are representing your knowledge in that particular interview to this particular selectors. That is the main focus point. So clothes, it must be decent, but it is normal also. Don't require very high branded clothes. It's not requirement. And I always remember that wherever there is an interview, go at least 1 hour before that particular interview time, so that you will get more relaxed in that particular campus or particular location. Many times people are coming very fastly from different location, and they are already what we say as having uncomfortable in that particular location, and once they are appearing interview, their uncomfortableness goes on increasing. So better way, reach there at least 1 hour, get relaxed physically, mentally. You must be stable, and don't judge yourself by the other your participant, that, oh, I have B Farm degree, this person is having M Farm, so maybe he gets selected. No, it is not like that. If anyone is having BSc degree also, but his performance and skill is very good, he also gets selected in that particular interview. So it depends on the skill. That's why I'm saying that KSP, that is a knowledge, skill, and performance. That is the real master key of your to crack that particular interview. So make yourself prepared for in a such a way that you can easily break this particular ice in that particular situation in that interview. So 99% it's your efforts and 1% is your luck. I have seen so many people who are having very brilliant talent, and their body language, confidence level, everything is good, but many times because of this, luck is not there, they not get selected. But it is not like that, that is the end of their career. Now these people are in different location, in different organization, and they are also started successful their career. So it depends that sometime your luck is not in Mumbai, maybe, but your luck maybe in Bangalore, or maybe in the Cochin, or maybe in Kolkata, wherever it is there, as per the God's gift, whatever it is. So it depend on that. So 99% be ready with your efforts, and 1% is your luck. It's always there. So don't expect and don't frustrate. That is a very important thing, because many of the employee, those who are appearing for the interview, I saw that they are expecting too much. They think that I am from this background, I must get selected, and if you are not selecting me, it means you are a fault. They are directly blaming that particular organization. After many time after interview, they are discussing with their friend, वो तो ऐसा ही है, उसने तो उसका ही ले लिया, शायद उनका सेटिंग रहेगा, ये ऐसा ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है, सेटिंग बिटिंग कुछ नहीं होता है। सेटिंग करने के लिए भी बहुत बड़ा वेट लगता है, बहुत बड़ा पावर लगता है। और जैसे मैंने बोला कि ठीक है, सेटिंग भी कर दिया, आपने एंट्री भी कर दिया, लेकिन वहां पे जब परफॉर्मेंस करने का टाइम आता है ना, तब टैलेंट ही आता है आपके काम में। जिसके पास टैलेंट नहीं है, वो वहां पे 6 महीने के आगे टिक भी नहीं सकता है। दैट इज द ट्रुथ ऑफ एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। आप सीईओ के बेटे भी होंगे तो भी सीईओ आपको सिलेक्शन कर सकता है, लेकिन उसको अंदर आने के बाद उसको जो परफॉर्मेंस करना पड़ेगा ना, वो उसके टैलेंट के ऊपर होता है। सो टैलेंट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इन योर करियर, एंड ये कोई भी मार्केट में नहीं मिलता है, ये आपको डेवलप करना पड़ता है। For that purpose, your self preparation is very very important. That's why I'm saying KSP, knowledge, skill, and presentation is very important, not only during the interview, but after selection, your performance level, that is also very important. तो सिलेक्शन इज अ डिफरेंट एक्टिविटी, लेकिन उसके बाद आपका रियल टेस्ट चालू होता है उस कंपनी में, उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, कि आप कितने टिकते हैं। क्योंकि अंदर बहुत सारी चीज होती है, बहुत सारे कॉम्पिटिटर होते हैं, पॉलिटिक्स होता है, उस सभी को पार करके जब आपको आगे जाना है, तो आपको कुछ एक्स्ट्रा और आपका खुद का कुछ एक टैलेंट बनाना पड़ता है, एक क्वालिटी बनाना पड़ता है। देन ओनली यू कैन सर्वाइव इन दैट पर्टिकुलर इन्वायरमेंट, अदरवाइज इट इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट। आप आगे नहीं बढ़ पाओगे। और बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि लोग फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाते हैं, और बहुत बार फिर कंपटीशन की जगह वो कंपैरिजन होता है, इसको इतना मिला, मुझे इतना नहीं मिला, मुझे अभी तक मैं यहाँ पे ही हूँ, ये तो आगे चला गया। दैट इज डिफरेंट थिंग। So for that purpose, always focus on your own talent and own performance as per the skill point of view. डोंट जज अदर पीपल, वो काम एम्प्लॉयर का है, वो खुद जज करेगा, उसका काम है। आप खुद का परफॉर्मेंस दो, एम्प्लॉयर वो चेक करेगा कि आप क्या है, आपका परफॉर्मेंस क्या है, एज पर योर क्वालिफिकेशन यू आर करेक्ट और नॉट। मेनी टाइम मैंने देखा है कि पीएचडी करके आते हैं और वो भी यूरोप से आते हैं, यूरोप से पीएचडी किया है, इटली में जाके पीएचडी किया है, उनको एक ईमेल लिखने को बोला तो ईमेल लिखने को नहीं होता है। क्या करूं, अरे कैसा है, मुझे पता ही नहीं था, अरे। और उल्टा ऐसे भी कुछ लोग हैं जो एक स्मॉल टाउन से आते हैं, जिनका बैकग्राउंड इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं रहता है, लेकिन उनके अंदर बहुत सारे स्किल्स होते हैं, वो सिचुएशन को बहुत अच्छी तरह से अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं, उनका एक कोऑर्डिनेशन और लीडरशिप क्वालिटी भी वहां पे दिखता है जब इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे। और ऐसे मेरे खुद के भी बहुत सारे फ्रेंड है कि जिन्होंने एक ऐसे बैकग्राउंड से आए हैं जहाँ के उनके फैमिली बैकग्राउंड भी कुछ ऐसा नहीं था, लेकिन आज वो इंडस्ट्री में एक अच्छे पोजीशन पे है, एक लीडरशिप क्वालिटी पे, लीडरशिप लेवल पे है, जो आज एटलीस्ट 50 to 60 पीपल का लीडर, टीम लीड है और उनको लीड करते हैं। सो इट डिपेंड ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन पर्सनल टैलेंट, कि उसका खुद का टैलेंट क्या है, तो ये उसके ऊपर डिपेंड है। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि सभी गलत है या सभी करेक्ट है, लेकिन इट पर्सनल लेवल पे हर एक का अलग अलग होता है, तो इसको ज्यादा फोकस करना जरूरी है, especially for that purpose. And that's why I'm saying कि nowadays it is a unofficially that person who is coming from with diploma certificate that will get clear at a first round. जिसके पास डिप्लोमा सर्टिफिकेट नहीं है वो पहले ही कंफ्यूज हो जाता है, उसको समझ में नहीं आता है कि क्लिनिकल रिसर्च क्या है। वो कहाँ तो भी बीफार्म में पढ़ा हुआ एक टॉपिक है, वहां पे उसने देखा है कि ऐसा ऐसा कुछ था, वो वही उसी एक इंप्रेशन में रहता है कि बस ऐसा ही क्लिनिकल रिसर्च है। लेकिन जिसने स्पेसिफिकली इसका कोई डिप्लोमा कोर्स किया है तो उसको इसके बैकग्राउंड, इसका स्ट्रक्चर, उसका फंक्शनिंग, ये सब अच्छी तरह से पता होता है। सो ऑटोमेटिकली वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को वो अच्छी तरह से जज करता है और उसका क्वालिटी परफॉर्मेंस भी होता है। सो उसका सिलेक्शन पहले हो जाता है, बाकी लोग का टाइम लगता है। सो बेटर वे, यू मस्ट हैव अ प्रॉपर डिप्लोमा। डिप्लोमा का मतलब ये नहीं कि सिर्फ सर्टिफिकेट लेके आना है, आपको नॉलेज भी चाहिए। नॉलेज होगा तो ही सिलेक्शन होगा, नहीं तो सिलेक्शन नहीं होगा। Then after selection, now this is a very important slide because most of the people think that ये एक दो दिन में ही हो जाता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। ये मेरा खुद का एक्सपीरियंस है। मैं जब टीसीएस में सिलेक्ट हुआ था, मुझे 2 महीने के बाद कॉल आया था कि आपका सिलेक्शन हुआ है। मैं तो मतलब पहले 1-2 वीक तो कॉल किया था मैंने, बाद में कॉल करना ही छोड़ दिया। लेकिन बाद में 2 महीने के बाद मुझे कॉल आया कि आपका सिलेक्शन हुआ। और वो क्यों आया, क्योंकि जिसका पहले सिलेक्शन हुआ था उसने रिजेक्ट कर दिया था। उसके लिए मुझे फिर उन्होंने, वो जब उसने रिजेक्ट किया तब मुझे कॉल आया और उसने पूछा कि आप ज्वाइन करने वाले हो क्या। सो आफ्टर योर वॉक इन और इंटरव्यू, they will check your CV, qualification, your performance during the interview within team and within the department। जो भी डिपार्टमेंट के लोग उसमें इन्वॉल्व थे इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे, और एचआर की टीम भी वहाँ पे बैठी रहती है, वो भी आपको मॉनिटर करती है। तो वो लोग चेक करते हैं। फिर उसके बाद 2-3 मंथ तक ये सब डिस्कशन चलता है, उसमें से फिर फिल्टर कर करके अलग अलग करके लोगों को सिलेक्ट किया जाता है। एंड अगेन it is depend on that particular state level also, now because of the now government policies are there कि particular state में अगर आप कंपनी ओपन कर रहे हैं तो उस स्टेट के पर्टिकुलर पर्सन को भी पहले प्रायोरिटी रहता है। तो जैसे आप महाराष्ट्र में हैं तो आप महाराष्ट्र के हैं तो आपको एक कोटा, उस एक ऑफिशियल कोटा होता है कि जो उधर होता है, अगर वो कोटा फिल होता है तो ही, नहीं होता है तो ही फिर अदर स्टेट के पीपल जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट है उनका उसमें सिलेक्शन होता है। अगर सपोज वहाँ पे 50 सीट्स है जो महाराष्ट्र के पीपल के लिए, महाराष्ट्र रेसिडेंशियल के लिए है, तो अगर वो 50 सीट्स नहीं फिल हो रहे हैं तो फिर वो दूसरे जो पार्टिसिपेंट है जो अलग दूसरे स्टेट से आए हैं, फिर उनके उनके ऊपर फोकस किया जाता है। फिर उसके बाद क्वालिफिकेशन, परफॉर्मेंस सब चेक करने के बाद उनको कॉल किया जाता है। आफ्टर कंफर्मिंग द रोल एंड पैकेज, उसके बाद आपको ऑफर किया जाता है कि ये आपका रोल है और इतना इतना हम आपको पैकेज ऑफर कर रहे हैं। अगर आप एक्सेप्ट करेंगे तो नेक्स्ट लेवल का डिस्कशन होगा, नहीं तो डिस्कशन वहीं पे स्टॉप हो जाएगा। अगर आपने बोला हाँ ठीक है मैं एक्सेप्ट करता हूँ, मुझे ये रोल और पैकेज एक्सेप्टेबल है, फिर उसके बाद वो आपको ज्वाइनिंग लेटर देंगे कि आप ये डेट को इस कंपनी में यहाँ पे ये लोकेशन पे ज्वाइन करना है। फिर आपको वहां पे ज्वाइन करने के बाद आपको एक लिस्ट, चेकलिस्ट दी जाती है डॉक्यूमेंट्स की, जो आपकी पूरी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करते हैं। यहाँ पे डॉक्यूमेंटेशन जो होता है, ये आपका सिर्फ एजुकेशन का नहीं होता है, आपका पूरा बैकग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन होता है, आपका फैमिली बैकग्राउंड चेक किया जाता है, आपका स्कूल से लेकर कॉलेज तक आपने जो भी पढ़ाई किया है उसके सब सर्टिफिकेट चेक किए जाते हैं। ये आपको पता नहीं होता है। इसके लिए स्पेशली थर्ड पार्टी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हर एमएनसी की एक कोलैबोरेशन रहता है, जो आपके स्कूल भी जाती है, जहाँ पे आपने बोला है कि हाँ मैंने मेरा प्राइमरी एजुकेशन ये गांव में किया है, फिर उसके बाद हायर एजुकेशन ये गांव में किया है। तो ये लोग वहां पे जाके उस कॉलेज उस स्कूल के जाके प्रिंसिपल से बात करके चेक करते कि ऐसा ऐसा कोई बंदा ये ईयर में आपके स्कूल में था या नहीं था। क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं जो फेक सर्टिफिकेट या फेक डॉक्यूमेंट्स बना के कंपनी को देते हैं। तो ये लोग पूरा वेरीफाई करते हैं, A to Z पूरा वेरिफिकेशन होता है। आपका फैमिली बैकग्राउंड चेक होता है कि आप कौन से फैमिली से है, ऐसे कोई आपके मतलब रियली है या कोई ऐसे ही आपने कोई फेक डॉक्यूमेंट दिया है, वो भी वेरिफिकेशन होता है। फिर आधार कार्ड वो पैन कार्ड वो भी वेरिफिकेशन होता है। उसके बाद जब ये सब वेरिफिकेशन करेक्ट होने के बाद फिर 2-3 मंथ के बाद आपको ज्वाइनिंग लेटर आता है। तो ज्वाइनिंग लेटर आने के बाद फिर आपका ज्वाइनिंग होता है। उसके बाद फिर ट्रेनिंग से पीरियड आता है जो 6 मंथ to 1 ईयर होता है। उस ट्रेनिंग पीरियड में फिर आपका परफॉर्मेंस, पहले तो आपको ट्रेनिंग दिया जाएगा, फिर उसके बाद आपका परफॉर्मेंस इवेल्युएट हो जाएगा। उसके बाद आपके जो भी सीनियर मैनेजमेंट है, टीम लीड है, मैनेजर है, जिसके साथ डिस्कशन करने के बाद फिर आपको कंफर्मेशन लेटर आफ्टर 1 ईयर मिलता है। तो आपका सिलेक्शन होने से आपका कंफर्मेशन होने का पीरियड मिनिमम 1 to 1.5 ईयर का जाता है। तो आज के टाइम पे अगर आपको कोई कंपनी में वॉक इन के लिए अगर है, तो आप ये ध्यान में रख के चलो कि आपका कंफर्मेशन 2022 में ही होने वाला है, उसके पहले तो होने ही नहीं वाला नहीं। और ये प्रोसेस है, ये सिस्टमैटिक प्रोसेस है, बहुत ही एज पर द गवर्नमेंट रूल, एज पर द कंपनी रूल और पॉलिसी से ये प्रोसेस चलती है। इसके ऊपर इसमें कभी भी कुछ चेंजेस नहीं हो रहे। हाँ, कुछ जगह पे अगर 1.5 ईयर है तो कुछ जगह पे 1 ईयर हो जाएगा। कभी कहीं कहीं पे 1 मंथ में ही आपको ज्वाइनिंग लेटर भी आ जाएगा या कंफर्मेशन लेटर भी आएगा। लेकिन ओवरऑल प्रोसेस यही है, जितनी भी बड़ी कंपनी है ये यही प्रोसेस से चलती है। इसके बाद ही ये होता है। तो इसमें ये ध्यान में रखिए कि आप इतना इंथुजियास्टिक मत हो जाइए कि हाँ अभी वॉक इन है तो सब फाइनल हो जाएगा, तुरंत ही होगा, नहीं। ये एक सिस्टमेटिक प्रोसेस है। तो इसको रिलैक्स और स्मूथली जाने दीजिए। इसमें ज़्यादा क्या होता है, अपना प्रेशर मत बढ़ाइए या प्रेशर कम मत कीजिए कि ये क्या हो रहा है, ये बहुत टाइम ले रहा है, ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है। क्योंकि बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि इंटरव्यू के बाद मुझे बहुत बार कॉल आता है, सर मैं तो आया था लेकिन मुझे अभी तक कॉल नहीं आया। मैं बता दूं भाई, ऐसा होता है कि सिलेक्शन तो हमने कर दिया लेकिन उसका फाइनल जो होता है वो HR डिपार्टमेंट करता है। तो HR ही डिसाइड करेगा कि इसको लेना है या किसको लेना है। हम भले ही बोलते हैं कि हाँ ये, हम उनको एक नंबर दे देते हैं कि ये 500 लोग हैं, इसमें से हमने एक 400 लोगों को सिलेक्ट करके रखा है, तो ये इनका है। उसमें से अभी फिल्टर क्या करना है वो HR डिपार्टमेंट है, वो उनका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। तो वो लोग फाइनल करते हैं, फिर उसके बाद ये सब वेरिफिकेशन का प्रोसेस होता है, उसके बाद ही वो एम्प्लॉय वहां पे ज्वाइन करता है। सो एक बहुत ही सिस्टमेटिकली, बहुत ही साइंटिफिक प्रोसेस है ये। उसके थ्रू ही सब होने के बाद फिर वो एम्प्लॉय वहां पे ज्वाइन करके अगला अपना करियर कंटिन्यू करता है। नाउ वंस यू ज्वाइन दिस पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, जैसे मैंने बोला कि सिलेक्शन हो गया, आपका बैकग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन हो गया, फिर ट्रेनिंग पीरियड हो गया, तो उसके बाद जो HR की एक पॉलिसी होती है वो अलग है। मतलब एंट्री करने के पहले की पॉलिसी अलग है और एंट्री करने के बाद की पॉलिसी अलग है। सो एवरी 6 मंथ और 1 ईयर आपका एक ओवरऑल रेटिंग होता है, आपको एक गोल दिया जाता है कि ये गोल आपको नेक्स्ट 6 मंथ या 1 ईयर में अचीव करना है। इट इज ऑन योर परफॉर्मेंस फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू और योर क्वालिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। तो ये आपको पहले दिया जाता है और उसके मुताबिक जो भी आपका परफॉर्मेंस होता है वो 6 मंथ या 1 ईयर का, इसके ऊपर आपके टीम लीड और मैनेजर डिस्कशन करके आपको एक रेटिंग देते हैं। उनका रेटिंग रहता है, कुछ लोगों का 1 to 5 होता है, कुछ लोगों का 1 to 10 होता है। इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द कंपनी एंड दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। तो एज पर दैट रेटिंग आपका नेक्स्ट लेवल इंक्रीमेंट एंड प्रमोशन डिपेंड होता है। तो ये हर कंपनी का अलग अलग है, लेकिन ओवरऑल ये सबका कॉमन है कि प्रोसेस सेम होता है इसमें। सो इसमें जो होता है एक कोर परफॉर्मेंस इवेल्युएशन होता है। कोर परफॉर्मेंस मतलब जिस रोल के लिए आपको सिलेक्ट किया है, आपका सिलेक्शन फाइनल किया है और आपको ज्वाइनिंग और कंफर्मेशन लेटर दिया है, तो उसमें आपका परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है, दैट इज द मेन थिंग। कि जो प्रोजेक्ट जो क्लाइंट के लिए आपको हायर किया है तो उसके लिए आपका परफॉर्म है। तो क्लाइंट का रिक्वायरमेंट क्या था जिस उस पर्टिकुलर रोल के लिए, उसमें आपका परफॉर्मेंस कैसा हो गया, ये पहले वहां पे डिस्कस होता है। देन विद इन द टीम, जो भी टीम है आपका, 10 लोगों का, 50 लोगों का जो भी टीम है, इस टीम में आपका ओवरऑल परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है, आपका कोऑर्डिनेशन कैसा है, आपका कोलैबोरेशन कैसा है, इसको भी डिटेल स्टडी किया जाता है। आपके जो बाकी के कलीग रहते हैं उस पर्टिकुलर टीम में, उनसे आपके बारे में ओपिनियन इनडायरेक्टली लेते हैं, आपको नहीं पता होता है कि आपके लिए ओपिनियन लिया है, और आपको भी पूछा जाता है कि आपके ये कलीग के लिए आप ओपिनियन दे दो। तो वो लोग अपना अपना ओपिनियन देता है कि हाँ ये 6 मंथ इसके साथ काम करने के बाद मुझे अच्छा अच्छा लगा, जो भी रहेगा, ये थोड़ा कोऑपरेटिव है, ये अच्छा गाइड करता है, और या कोई मुझे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल अच्छा है, ऐसा जो भी रहेगा वो अपना अपना ओपिनियन देता है। इवन आपकी जो दूसरी टीम रहती है, जो दूसरे लोकेशन पे रहती है, उनसे भी ये लोग आपके बारे में ओपिनियन कलेक्ट करते हैं। उसके बाद अगर आपने एज अ एम्प्लॉय कुछ इनिशिएटिव लिया है, जैसे ये प्रोजेक्ट है उसमें ये एक्टिविटी है, और वो एक्टिविटी आप खुद ने बोला कि नहीं नहीं ये मैं करूंगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं एक्स्ट्रा ये भी काम करूंगा, मतलब सिर्फ रिकॉर्ड बनाने का काम नहीं, मैं उसको क्यूसी भी करूंगा, उसका रिव्यू भी करूंगा, और उसको फाइनल भी करूंगा। तो ये जो अगर इनिशिएटिव कोई ले रहा है तो उसको भी हाईलाइट करके देखते हैं, क्योंकि ये एक अच्छा चीज है कि कोई नया रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के लिए इनिशिएटिव ले रहा है। देन एज पर द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टेकन बाय द एम्प्लॉय विद इन द प्रोजेक्ट, जैसे ही प्रोजेक्ट का कुछ अदर एक्टिविटी है, कि अगर सपोज कोई एम्प्लॉय बीमार पड़ गया, या बहुत ऐसे होता है कि फीमेल एम्प्लॉय होती है वो प्रेगनेंसी लीव पे जाती है, 6 6 मंथ का उनका प्रेगनेंसी लीव होता है, तो 6 मंथ के लिए उनका जो एक्टिविटी है ये दूसरा कोई परफॉर्म करता है, तो वो एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटी करता है, तो उसको भी हाईलाइट करके देखते हैं कि ठीक है इसने खुद का तो काम किया ही है, लेकिन दूसरे का भी पूरा काम करके दिया है, तो ही इज हैविंग सम एक्स्ट्रा कैपेबिलिटीज, तो उसको ज्यादा वेटेज मिलता है। देन एज पर द प्रोजेक्ट लेवल कम्युनिकेशन, अगर आप जो आपके क्लाइंट है, आपकी जो टीम है, आपके जो प्रोजेक्ट की अदर लोकेशन पे जो लोग हैं, इससे आप ईमेल कम्युनिकेशन और टेलीफोनिक कम्युनिकेशन कैसे करते हैं, आपका बात करना कैसे है, आपका ओवरऑल नाउ डेज बिकॉज इंग्लिश इज अ कॉमन लैंग्वेज इन एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, तो आपका कम्युनिकेशन कितना स्ट्रांग है, मतलब जब आप डिस्कस करते हैं तो आप एग्जैक्टली पॉइंट टू पॉइंट डिस्कस करते हैं, या कोई एक्स्ट्रा डिस्कशन करते हैं, या कोई अदर मतलब दूसरी चीज होती है जिसका जो उस पॉइंट से कोई, उस प्रॉब्लम से कोई रिलेशन नहीं है, ऐसे बात पे डिस्कस करते हैं। तो ये सब चीज को आपके कम्युनिकेशन स्किल में देखा जाता है कि इसका कम्युनिकेशन स्किल कैसा है, क्योंकि अगर आपका कम्युनिकेशन अच्छा है तो डेफिनेटली आप जो एक्टिविटी है वो विद इन टाइमलाइन और एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट एग्जैक्टली कंप्लीट कर सकते हो। तो यहाँ पे आपका कम्युनिकेशन स्किल भी चेक किया जाता है विद इन द कोर परफॉर्मेंस, आप विद इन द टीम कैसे कोऑर्डिनेट करते हो और आउटसाइड द टीम कैसे कोऑर्डिनेट करते हो। सो नाउ यू कैन सी, मैंने एक पिक्चर यहाँ पे जो डाला है कि यहाँ पे इसका जजमेंट होता है, सो बिलो एवरेज, सेटिस्फैक्ट्री, वेरी गुड, एक्सेलेंट एंड आउटस्टैंडिंग। सो ये जो सिलेक्शन जो इवेल्युएशन होता है ये ऐसे लेवल पे होता है, फिर उसके बाद ये लोग जो टोटल एम्प्लॉय है उनको अलग अलग कैटेगरी में डालते हैं, फिर रेटिंग भी ऐसा ही होता है, जो बिलो होता है उसका रेटिंग कम होता है, जो आउटस्टैंडिंग होता है उसका हायर रेटिंग आता है। देन एक्स्ट्रा परफॉर्मेंस इवेल्युएशन, अपार्ट फ्रॉम योर कोर परफॉर्मेंस कुछ एक्स्ट्रा भी होते हैं, जैसे कुछ लोग होते हैं उनमें कुछ स्किल होते हैं, जैसे कोई सिंगिंग अच्छा करता है, या कोई मिमिक्री करता है, तो जो इन बिटवीन बहुत सारे कंपनीज में एचआर कभी कभी फन एक्टिविटी का एक टाइम रखते हैं, तो उसमें ये लोग कुछ एक्स्ट्रा परफॉर्मेंस करते हैं, या कोई फंक्शन होता है या कोई इवेंट होता है, तो इस इवेंट को कोऑर्डिनेशन करने का काम भी ये लोग करते हैं। तो इन लोगों के लिए एक्स्ट्रा इवेल्युएट किया जाता है कि हाँ ये तो रेगुलर प्रोजेक्ट का काम करता ही है, लेकिन इसका ये भी स्किल अच्छा है, तो कंपनी के लिए ये बहुत अच्छा है कि ये थोड़ा इसमें एक टैलेंट है, सिंगिंग टैलेंट है, मिमिक्री टैलेंट है, या फिर जो भी है वो, तो उसके लिए फिर उसके लिए थोड़ा एक उसको ज़्यादा वेटेज भी मिलता है, उसको भी एक अलग से देखा जाता है कि ये दैट इज ऑल्सो गुड फॉर द कंपनी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। देन एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटी, कोई भी एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटी अगर आपने कंपनी का लिया है, जैसे किसी ने बोला कि नहीं मैं ये हमारे जो पिकनिक है इसके लिए जो भी प्लानिंग करना है, या एक कोई न्यू इवेंट करना है, तो उसका पूरा प्लानिंग और मैनेजमेंट मैं करूंगा, तो वो भी वहाँ पे जज करते हैं। देन आइडिया, अगर आपने कुछ अच्छा इनोवेटिव आइडिया दिया अपने सीनियर मैनेजमेंट को कि हमको आगे प्रोजेक्ट बढ़ाना है, या हमारा जो परफॉर्मेंस है उसको अच्छा करना है, तो आपने कुछ आइडिया दिया, तो उस आइडिया को भी बहुत वेटेज होता है इन पर्टिकुलर प्रोफेशनल वर्ल्ड, क्योंकि वो एक आइडिया की वजह से बहुत बार आपकी एक्टिविटी और फास्ट और स्मूथ हो जाती है। तो अगर कोई एम्प्लॉय ऐसा है कि जो कुछ अच्छे आइडिया भी दे सकता है, तो उसके लिए उसको ज़्यादा वेटेज दिया जाता है। एंड जैसे जैसे प्रोजेक्ट आते हैं, जैसे जैसा बजट बढ़ता है, तो उसके लेवल एज पर दैट दे विल डू द इंक्रीमेंट एंड द प्रमोशन। तो ये पॉलिसीज एचआर की एज पर द कंपनी एंड एज पर द प्रोजेक्ट होती है। सो दिस इज द ओवरऑल पॉलिसीज दैट एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज हैविंग। सो दिस इज द ऑर्गेनोग्राम, ये अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट है, उसमें ये हायरकीज है, इसमें अलग अलग पोजीशंस है, ये जस्ट आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए, एग्जैक्टली ये है ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन इन जनरल ये ऐसे पोजिशंस होते हैं, हायरार्की होती है. सो एज पर दिस everything will be smoothly function in that particular organization. Okay, any question, any concern, any doubt? सब जागे हैं ना कि सो गए?